I just like to use my hands. Now I'm going to take some weaving wire, the thinner gauge wire.
And what gauge was that?
24.
24
okay.
gauge. Thank you for keeping me on track. And I'm going to just put it in between the middle wires and start my weave. So I put it in between the wires. On the back, I'm holding it with my finger. And that just gives me all that stability. And again, I'm holding it snugly with my index finger and thumb. And I'm going to begin that figure 8 weave. First, I'm going to do one single wrap around just to get it snugly on that thicker gauge wire, the 18 gauge wire, right?
18, yep.
And then I go into the weave. So figure 8. And in this scenario, you don't want the two thicker gauged wires to be parallel. So that's where it's tricky. You actually want them to stay in this V shape, in my case.
You're doing the V in yours?
Yeah.
So let me show here. I started exactly the same way he did. And remember, I put a Sharpie to tell me where I need to stop. And I'm doing the 8 weave here. So this is exactly the same thing that we did with the bezel wall. I'm doing now here, see? And that's why we move around, so I can pass the weaving wire easier around that. So here you're learning 2 types of bail weaving that you can use in your pieces. And of course, when I do the knot, I tie it a little bit. And I can move this around. You're going to see with Jake's that he can shape his later in the right way. But I know where to stop, and that's the important part for me. And there is a lot of repetitive work in doing this, but it actually goes fast if you think. Okay, I'm almost done.
Well, like you said before, it's kind of a nice meditation.
It is.
It's like knitting or crocheting.
Yeah, and we all need that. For me, for example, because my brain, I work here the whole day, and in live everything happens, right? So it's stressful. It's one way when I go home to stop my brain from thinking. And actually, when you give your brain a chance to breathe, it actually goes looking for solutions. So even if you had a bad day and you need to figure out something in your life, by doing any type of craft, you're going actually to let your brain breathe and rest enough so you can go asking for a solution. When you're always stuck, what you focus on is what you attract. So if you're focusing on the problem, you don't find a solution for that. That's what's key. So that's what I do actually a lot. Almost every night, if I have time, if I don't have meetings, I'm making something. I'm almost done with this one. Do you mind if I tell them how I end here?
Yeah.
So because I have 2 and Jake has 1, so I need to finish this fast. So with the weaving wire, I would just turn 3 times here and cut. Because now when he's ready, we are going to bend the bail, and we'll show how we do in different ways as well. But this would be it for it's going to look a lot prettier once we are done.